Good morning everyone, it's Chandrakala here and today we will see experimental verification of Ohm's law. In last class we have discussed about Ohm's law. We know that Ohm's law states that the amount of current flowing in the circuit is directly proportional to amount of potential difference applied at its terminals. And today we have to see its experimental verification. So for experimental verification we will have to make an arrangement of a circuit, and in our circuit we will have a battery and we will have a rheostat, we will have a key which will act as a switch, and we will have a nichrome wire. This is ammeter and this is voltmeter, resistance R, battery and rheostat. Okay, we know that this battery will have two terminals. One will be positive terminal, one will be negative terminal, and the battery will provide potential difference to make the flow of current in the circuit. Key will be used as a switch which will allow the flow of current or which will stop the flow of current in the circuit. Rheostat, we know the use of rheostat. Rheostat is used to change the value of current. It is same as resistance box. That means resistance box is also used to change the resistance. Similarly, rheostat is used to change the resistance. And when resistance will change, then the amount of current will also change, because we have seen that resistance is inversely proportional to current I. That means if we want to increase the amount of current, then we will have to reduce the value of resistance with the help of resistance box. And if we want to decrease the value of current, then we have to increase, or if we have to increase the value of current, then we have to decrease the resistance with the help of rheostat. Actually, V is equal to IR. This we have studied. From here, I is equal to V upon R. That means to change the value of current in the circuit, you are having two ways. First, change the value of potential difference. Second, change the value of resistance. But it's not possible always changing again and again this battery and cell connected here. So we are avoiding this method and then we are using this method. That means if we will change the value of resistance, then the value of current will be automatically changed, and the value of current will be changed, then the value of potential difference will be changed. And this is actually our Ohm's law. So here rheostat is used to change the resistance and hence the amount of current flowing in the circuit. Key will be used as a switch, and this is voltmeter. We have already discussed that voltmeter is used to measure potential difference between 2 points. And it is always connected in parallel because we need to calculate difference, and difference is possible only between 2 points, and the arrangement between 2 points is parallel. So it is connected in parallel, and this is ammeter which will be connected in series, because if we want to calculate the amount of current flowing in the circuit, whole current should pass through ammeter. Okay, one more thing. Ammeter will have two terminals, positive terminal and negative terminal. Voltmeter will also have two terminals, positive terminal and negative terminal. We know that in both cases, positive terminal of instrument should be connected with positive terminal of the battery, and negative terminal of the instrument should be connected with negative terminal of the battery. Okay, next thing is this resistance. Here we have connected a nichrome wire. We can connect any other conducting wire also, as well as we can connect any electric device also here. But right now we are not using device, we are doing just one experiment. So we have kept a simple metallic wire other than this wire. This is another wire and this is another wire, but it should be conducting so that the current can pass from one point to another point. So we have to calculate potential difference here and we have to calculate current. We need these two things for Ohm's law, then we can calculate the value of resistance. Okay, now we will start from rheostat. That means we will adjust the value of resistance such that we can get a minimum value of current but non-zero value. That means 1 or 0.1 or 0.5 or 2 or 3 or 5 amperes. That means we will set up this resistance such that we can get a non-zero value of current I. Okay, and this ammeter will give us reading of current I. That means from here we can calculate how much current is flowing through the circuit. Similarly, the voltmeter will give us reading of potential difference. And now we will make a table. In our table, what we have to calculate actually, we have to calculate current I, potential difference V, and then R. That is the resistance. We are doing this experiment to find out value of R. Okay, we know that according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Therefore, R will be equal to V upon I. That means if you are having V, if you are having I, then you can calculate R by V upon I. Okay, so for one reading, for first reading, we will set any value of current. Suppose it can be 1 ampere. We have to see that we will change the value of resistance from rheostat. We will wait until our current becomes 1 ampere. When it will be 1 ampere, then we will stop and we will see the reading of voltmeter. It will be the value of potential difference. So here we will have one value and here also we will have one value. Similarly, again now, we will change the value of resistance again. Suppose initially it was 0.5 ohm, then now we will do it 0.8 ohm or 1 ohm or 5 ohm. Then we will get second value of current and voltage. Then we will get third value of, like this we will take minimum 4 to 5 readings. Okay, every time we will calculate value of V upon I, that is we will calculate the value of resistance. So after taking 4 to 5 readings, we will have 4-5 values of resistance also. All the values will be almost equal, but they can have a little variation. So we will take average of this resistance. That means we will calculate average of the resistance. We will get some values maybe just like 2.50 or 2.52 or 2.60. Like this we will get take 4-5 readings, so that if we will get the average value, we will calculate the average value, then we will consider that value as standard value. That means here the thing which we observe is every time the value of resistance is almost equal. That means this experiment verifies that as we will change the value of current I, in the same way the value of voltage will change. By the same amount, the value of voltage will change such that the value of resistance always remains constant. Okay, or if otherwise we will change the value of voltage, then the value of current will be changed, and then but still we will get one value, constant value for almost constant value for resistance. So this verifies that whenever we will change current I with the help of resistance, then the value of V will also change. Whereas for a particular arrangement, that means for a particular conductor, the value of resistance will be constant. Okay, now we have to see, this is the experimental method, and if the graph between V and I, that means if we will plot a graph between V and I, we are having the value of current I, we are having the value of voltage V. Now we can plot a graph between both the quantities. Of course, we can plot a graph on y-axis and x-axis. Here we are taking current I and here we are taking voltage. Okay, then when we will plot these values, then we will observe that the graph comes to be a straight line which is passing through origin, because we have adjusted here minimum value of I because of that. So here we will get a straight line. When two quantities are directly proportional to each other, the graph obtained is a straight line. This we have studied in class 9th. Okay, now if we have to calculate the resistance. Resistance is ratio of both these quantities. In class 9th, we had one chapter, one-dimensional motion, where we had calculated displacement, velocity, acceleration by mathematical method also, as well as by the method of graph also. That was the graphical representation. So there we have learned, if we have to find out ratio of two quantities of the graph, then we will have to calculate slope of this line. So first of all, we will have to calculate slope, and that slope will give us the value of resistance. This we have already seen in 9th class. We are having two quantities and now we are having graph of both the quantities. If we want to calculate the ratio, then that ratio will be equal to resistance, and that will be find out by finding the slope of the given graph. So here we have to find out slope. After that, we have seen that if we will take any 2 points on this line and if we will find slope of these 2 points, then that will be the slope of this entire line. Or we can say that if we will take any 2 points, then that means if we will take P and Q and if we will calculate the slope, and if we will take any other 2 point M and N and if we will calculate the slope, both the slopes will be equal. That we have learnt in class 9. So here also we want ratio of both these quantities. So we will have to find out slope. And to find out slope, we know methods. We will draw two perpendiculars on y-axis as well as on x-axis. Suppose this point is A and or this point is A or this point is B, anyone as you wish. So the potential at this point will be VA and potential at this point will be VB. Similarly, here also we will take one point as C and one point as D. So the current on this axis we are having current I. So at this point, let it be C, then the value of the current is IC and here the value of current is ID. These are actually some numerical values. That means you can consider here it is 2 volt and here it is 10 volt, or you can consider that here it is 1 volt, or here it can be how much this is ampere, sorry, 1 ampere, or it can be 2 ampere, like that. So these will be the numerical values. Okay, now if we have to find out slope of these 2 points, then we have to draw this, and we want this value as well as this value to find out the slope. If this is VA, this is VB, then this is actually VA minus VB, which we are denoting by delta V. That is difference in the potential difference, VA minus VB. Similarly, at this point the current is IC and here it is ID. Then here the difference of the current will be del I. You can say del I. These both will be equal, and that will be obviously ID minus IC. That means if it is 2, it is 1, then it will be 2 minus 1 is equal to 1 ampere. And it will be 10 minus 2 is equal to 8 volt. This is the potential difference in the potential, and this is difference in the current, and that is the slope, that is del V upon del I. Now we are having value of del V from here and we are having value of del I. For example, if we will consider these numerical values, then here del V, value of potential difference at this point minus value of potential difference at this point, that is equal to 8 volt, and here the value of current at point D minus value of current at point C, that is equal to 1 ampere. So it will be 1 ampere. So after all it will be 8. And what it will be ohm, because it is resistance. Right? That means if the graph is given or if it is not given, then from our experiment we can calculate the value, we can change the value of any one quantity and we can determine the value of other quantity accordingly. That means if we will change the value of current, then the value of voltage will be changed and we can see it from this voltmeter. So now we are having some values of current I, we are having some values of voltage. We can plot a graph between them. The graph will become a straight line because both the quantities are directly proportional to each other. Now we have to find out slope of this line. So we will take any 2 points on the line. Then we will make perpendiculars on the corresponding axis. Then we will calculate difference between both the quantities. And that difference will give us the slope, which will be equal to resistance of the wire. So every time we are noticing that this resistance is actually constant for a particular wire. That means as soon as we will change this wire from here, then the resistance will change. Okay, because it is constant for a particular conductor only. Okay, so if the slope will be greater, that means larger value, then the value of resistance will also high, and then obviously the value of current will be low. But here we do not have to do anything with current, we want only resistance. So if the slope of the straight line will be more or large, greater, then the resistance of that conducting wire will also be greater. Now we have two things here. We are discussing actually VI graph, that is voltage current graph. Similarly, we can draw a graph between current and voltage. Okay, so if we will take current I here on y-axis and current voltage on x-axis, and if we will plot a graph, and again if we will find the slope, then in this condition the slope will be equal to del I upon del V. Because you see, if you will take any 2 points, then this time there will be I and these points will be for del V. So this will be del V, then this will be del V, and this will be del I. So if we want slope of this line, this time it will be del I upon del V. Right now we have said that del V upon del I is equal to resistance. This also implies that del I upon del V is equal to 1 upon resistance. And do you remember what is 1 upon R? That is reciprocal of resistance, obviously conductivity, which was represented by C or G or C, as you wish. You can represent by anything. So that means the slope del I upon del V actually represent the conductance. So it is equal to conductance. So during exams we have to see question carefully, whether sometimes the graph will be given and the determined quantity will be asked. In that condition you have to see carefully whether the graph is representing del V upon del I or del I upon del V. If it is representing del V upon del I, then it will be equal to resistance. It will give the resistance of the wire or conductor. Whereas if it is del I upon del V, then it will give the value of conductance, which will be reciprocal of resistance. Rest of the things we will see in next class. Thank you.